Good morning, good afternoon. Last time we talked about sine, cosine, and tangent. Today we're going to be talking about how to use that table to investigate heights or diagonals, and we're going to be looking at this mountain example. So I'm going to read through this. You can read along with me. The highest point on the Earth's surface is the peak of Mount Everest in the Himalayan mountain range along the Tibet-Nepal border in Asia. The most recent calculations indicate that Mount Everest rises 8,872 meters, or little over 29,000 feet above sea level. As early as 1850, surveyors had estimated the height of that peak with error of only 0.4%. The first climbers known to actually reach the summit were Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary in 1953. In our last investigation, we explored how the tangent and cosine functions could be used to calculate a height and distance that could not be measured directly. As you work on the problems of this investigation, make note of answers to the following question. How can trig functions be used to calculate heights like that of Mount Everest and other distances that cannot be measured directly? All right, here we go. So here's a sketch of a mountain that somebody did. And we're going to be looking at this sketch and we're going to be figuring out the missing parts of the triangle. All right, so here's our triangle. And I have some words in here. Let's kind of get rid of these for now. All right, so we learned last time we were together, we learned about this. We learned that sine is y over r, cosine is x over r, and tangent is y over x. I like to remember this acronym instead, okay? That we have three sides of our triangle. We have an opposite side, an adjacent side or next to, and a hypotenuse side. Okay, so we have an opposite side, right? And this is on the other side of the angle. That's how I remember it. On the other side, all those O's on the other side, O, right? On the other side, adjacent means next to, connected to, right? Adjacent. And hypotenuse is always your longest side of the triangle. All right? Hypotenuse, opposite. Okay? So those are our three sides of our triangle. We're going to label those in a second. So I remember that sine, instead of being y over r, sine is actually our opposite side. So instead of see how this would be like y going up and down, we're going to call this instead our opposite side. Opposite. Okay? That's our opposite side. And then our next one, we have adjacent, next to, connected to. So this side, AC, is connected to this 51 degrees. So let's go ahead. Let's label it up. Adjacent. And eventually we're just going to kind of abbreviate these and we're just going to write them as, opposite. We don't need to write the whole thing. Just O and A, so let's just make those little babies, make them small. Okay, that's our opposite side right there. Okay? And then our hypotenuse side is always our longest side. So let's do it. Let's do it. Our hypotenuse side is always our longest side. Here we go. So let's label that there. So we're going to take a look at this picture. All right. And we're going to find our two missing side lengths. We know one side is 2,700 feet. We're going to find the other two. So here we go. Boom. Let's set up a new page. So here's my new page. All right, cool. So I have some sides. I have some sides I know, some sides I don't know. I know this side is 2,700. I don't know this side, and I don't know this side. And I'm going to use my trig functions to kind of figure it out. Now, what I do know is I can use a table, if I have it here, where is it? Right here, this table, to figure out what sine, cosine, and tangent of 51 degrees is, right, from this table. So I'm just going to take it. So send to this clipboard and let's edit. Let's put it in here. Okay. So that's what I know. Okay. And now we have to set up some equations, do a little bit of math, and let's make it happen. So I'm going to be using this information right in here. All right. Those numbers to answer this problem. Okay. I don't really need this stuff because I'm only really worried about 51 degrees. See it right there? So let's write down some things that are absolutely true. So I know that the cosine of 51 degrees is equal to what? This 0.6293. Well, the cosine is also equal to the ratio of the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. Okay, you guys see that? So it's also equal to, if I were to make a little fraction here, it's also equal to this 2,700 and over the hypotenuse. You guys see it? So I can say, set up this equation, and I can solve it because there's only one missing thing. Whenever you have an equation with only one missing thing, it's really easy to solve if there's only one variable. You just have to use multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, you know, maybe an exponent, something like that. In this case, we're going to be using multiplication and division. So the first thing I want to do, all right, is maybe I want to make this so it doesn't look like cosine 51, and maybe I want to replace it. And I know that 51 degrees is equal to this. See it? Our cosine 51, the cosine is equal to this. So I'm going to rewrite that, right, as 0.6293. You guys see it? And I'm just going to rewrite my whole thing. So I'm going to have 0.6293 is equal to my answer, 227. And then I'm going to make this look, I know it's like not perfect. I wish I had a little editor the way I want it to do, but I don't. Okay, the hypotenuse. So we want to undo some things. The first thing we're going to do is undo division of the hypotenuse. We're going to multiply by the hypotenuse on both sides. So step by step, I'm going to do multiply by your hypotenuse on one side, and on the other side, I'm going to multiply by the hypotenuse on this side. And that cancels out. Boom, it's gone. And then I have this right here. So my new expression might look like this. The hypotenuse multiplied by 0.6293. Putting the 0 in front doesn't change it, but I think otherwise there's too many like dots in there. It can look confusing. Equals 2,700. Okay. And all I'm going to do now, so I undid my hypotenuse by doing multiplication. Now I want to undo the hypotenuse times that, get the hypotenuse by itself by undoing this multiplication. How do we undo multiplication? Easy. Division. So we're going to divide this by 0.6293. Divide by 0.6293. And that's going to be our answer. This crosses out and we get our hypotenuse. Our hypotenuse is equal to whatever that is, 2700 divided by 0.6293. I don't know what that even is, okay? So let's see. Let's go to Google and do it. Equals. Oh, there's our math. Okay. So that's our hypotenuse. That is the diagonal of our mountain. Okay. So, right, that's it. So let's put that on here. So the diagonal, this measurement right here is 4,290, just 90 feet. Okay, let's just do the whole, that one. Okay, so that's our hypotenuse. Now we want to find our opposite side. Well, this is actually really easy because here we have a right triangle, right? And we know that when we have a right triangle, all right, we can do that whole steps again, or we could just say one thing squared, squared plus, right? Let's do this. Let's make it fancy. Come on. All right. Equals. Right? Something squared plus something squared equals this squared. So, this is really easy. The only rules is that our hypotenuse, our longest side, goes by itself over here. And this is kind of like what we were doing before. It all comes back to this Pythagorean theorem. So, 2,700, it doesn't matter what order these two numbers go in, is equal to, and this is going to be equal to what? Our opposite side squared. We just solve for this. So how would we solve? What are each of these things equal to? So yeah, let's do it. So we have, let's just do some math in here. Let's see if that'll work. Okay, so let's put this number down on our paper, or else you guys are like, where's that number coming from? All right, send it to current page. And then we have the other number we had was what, 4290? Okay, so 4290. Good thing I wasn't searching for anything inappropriate here. Okay, 4290. Okay, and that would be our other answer. Nope. 4290, send to current page. Okay, so that's where those numbers are coming from. All right, so this is equal to this is equal to that, right? Okay, and let's make this like really big. Okay, so we would do what? So we would want to solve this out. This is getting really long. Okay, so we'd subtract, right? We're just rewriting this as this, and this is this, and we would, so plus the opposite squared equals this. So we'd subtract this minus this, right? So subtract 7, 2, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Subtract 7, 2, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah! Okay, that goes away. So the opposite squared is equal to that. I wonder if I can make this like minimized. Oh, I can, baby. Hey, baby, that's great. Okay, let's just put our little calculator right here. Can I type it in here? That would be ideal, but I can't. Okay, so let's just type that in here. So we do, let's do this. 1,840,4100 minus 729,123. Okay, and we get a number answer. Whoop! Look at that number. Yeah, baby. All right, so we get this. We subtract, we get that. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So let's just put this here so you're not like, where'd that number come from? This nobody's making up numbers. It might be 17675 100. Okay, and then I take the square root of that, right? So that's the next thing I want to do. So let's go to my Google calculator here, and let's see if it'll do what I want. Square root of, or equals the square root of 184,04100. 184, oh, square root. Squirt, not squirt. Let's see if it does it. I did the square root of the wrong number. Look at that. That's why I got a weird number. Okay. 17675 100. Yeah, so let's say, let's call it 4,204. So our opposite side, so the height of our mountain here, opposite side is, what do we get? Let's take a picture of it. 1,675 100, yeah. So our opposite side is 4,204 feet. Okay, so if I were going to make that, just want to move this a little bit, just make this bigger. So if I were going to label that on here, that would go along this opposite side. So control 8. So the opposite side is 4,204 feet, which you can't even see. This is where I need that like Instagram background where I just like pick a no, dismiss all. Yes, okay. This is where text. I can't color it. It'd be nice if I could color it, and I can't. But that's what it would be. It would be 4,204 feet. Okay. So we went over some steps here. Okay, it was a lot of work. So we set up our trig function. This was the part that's like the big mamma jamma, the big difference. All right, is recognizing that the cosine, you have the adjacent side over the hypotenuse, and the rest of it is really just algebra. I know it took me like 7 minutes to do it, but that's the part that, you know, we need to review and not get hung up on. All right, I'm going to end this video right now. I know I'm going to do a second part for some other stuff that we have next. Okay?